News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. It is the live Sunday edition of the program. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Richie Rich.
Well, we're still going to talk about coronavirus.
Son of a gun.
Or rather, the reaction and what's happening as a result of it. The madness has been going on for weeks now, and people are staying at home under government orders. We have already lost a radio station because we're not towing the line.
That was an amazing email
on Free
that
Talk
you read.
Live?
I don't know if you want to, if you can pull that up, you're willing to share it.
Yeah, I'll share it. I'm not going to say who.
Okay.
I mean, I told you earlier, but I'm not going to say.
I won't say anything I'm not supposed to.
Which station? I don't want to throw the guy under a bus or anything like that.
The surprising point to me was the basic reason behind it was because your content doesn't agree with what the government is saying right now.
Which we never agree with what the government is saying.
It's the whole point of this show.
Yeah. Broken clock strikes right a couple times a day, and every now and then we'll agree with something that someone in the government. Barack Obama let some people out of prison at the end of his term for nonviolent drug offenses. Okay, cool. You
get
right
a golf
about
clap for that.
Yeah,
I'm not praising that, but you'll get a golf clap for that.
And if Donald Trump does something good, we'll praise him for that too. Yeah. Like the whole Kim Jong-il thing or Kim Jong-un thing that he did. He tried something there. I don't know where that thing stands, by the way, with Kim Jong-un. There was a headline that he's been launching missiles into the ocean over the last week. So I mean, he's back. He seems to be back to doing the things that he's always done. And
I think the last I heard is they had a falling out. Some insults went, and then they're like, well, we're not meeting them with anymore, and
yeah. I heard about that, but then I heard
changes.
they were trying to clear it up or whatever. Okay. So I got this
forever.
Yeah, I got this email today. Now I did send out an industry newsletter, as I do from time to time. I've got about 650 subscribers, that people who've opted in over the years that I've built this. I never add people to an email list that didn't ask for it. And so these are mostly program directors, decision makers, general managers, people in radio.
Yeah.
And so I send out industry email, and from time to time I'll inform them of some of the not broadcast related news about Free Talk Live. So for instance, Chris Wade, who's one of our occasional co-hosts here on Free Talk Live, he was on Friday nights, but that's now the Mariana Show. He, the host of Freedom Decrypted, won a $15,000 settlement a few months back from the city of Manchester, where you live.
Yeah.
And they
had filming the police.
They wrongfully arrested him. They arrested him not for filming ostensibly, but for crossing the street towards them during a DUI checkpoint. And he won that case, and he, got some money out of it. And so I'd sent a notice to my radio stations about that, like, hey, this is what Free Talk Live hosts do. Is we don't just talk about freedom, we actually do. Most talk show hosts just sit and talk. Yeah. We go out and we do things. And sometimes that results in handcuffs being put on us.
Alex Jones might be the other exception.
I will give him credit. Yeah, I will definitely give Alex Jones credit. At least old Alex Jones.
Sure.
I mean, the new one goes out too, but now he's got his own Bearcat. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah,
it's really
he was
creepy.
at the Second Amendment rally in Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's weird, because it's just so weird what has happened with Alex Jones, where he has kind of become the thing that he hated originally. 20 years ago, Alex Jones, I don't think would have seen today Alex Jones riding around in an armored vehicle, waving the flag for President Trump.
Yeah.
And
so just wait until the Democrats get back into office and old Alex Jones
will be back to normal.
And he'll have a Bearcat.
But he was a critic of George W. Bush.
Okay.
Back in the day. So he's definitely gone kind of mainstream or embracing the state or the status quo, and it's pretty sad. Vincent, who's our one of our co-hosts, has really done a great job of kind of cataloging the fall of Alex Jones in that way. But anyway,
fair enough.
So I send these emails from time to time. This isn't the first time that I've expressed to our radio affiliates and our people who could be radio affiliates, because that's the majority of who's on the email list is people who are not yet radio affiliates, just people who are kind of interested in what we do. And so I've talked about different arrests over the years and different activism. Nobody's running for governor, and the different stories, just to kind of show them that we're doing interesting things, and and offer like, hey, you want to interview Nobody about this thing that he's doing, because it's fun to interview Nobody, or do you want to interview you can talk to us about Bitcoin, or Chris Wade about police abuse. And so I use it as a sort of a springboard to promote Free Talk Live as something that they could have on their station, obviously, and possible interview opportunities.
Nice.
So I let them know about the fact that we violated the governor's stay-at-home order this weekend on Friday night, late Friday night after the show. We did an after show, and then we went out and we gathered at Central Square, where actually you and I just came from. We were having our Social Sunday event there. It was a little chilly, but my
ears are still cold.
There were several folks that came out to it. And so actually on Friday night, we had 9 people at its peak. So not quite enough to break the 10-person threshold, but that's not the point. That wasn't the point of the event. The point of the event was to give people a chance to get out and spend some time in the company of other people.
Sure. Which is necessary for human beings. And
we're going to get to that.
Okay.
Like suicides are up, by the way, or at least suicide hotline calls. And so, I sent this newsletter just kind of letting folks know, letting the industry people know, this is what our hosts are doing. Okay. Now I'm personally a skeptic, but I pointed out in the email that not all of our hosts agree, because some of them, like Johnson, for instance, isn't even willing to come here and host the show. He's so concerned, and I guess he's got like a health issue that could make him more vulnerable or something like that. So understandably, he's quarantining himself at home. Chris Wade.
And I don't bemoan people who do that.
Me neither. It's your body. You do what you want.
Exactly. I just don't like the force of being told not to do that.
Yeah, and so Chris Wade, he's kind of like in the middle, where he believes all the propaganda about the at least and that's probably, I'm sure that's not how he would put it, but he's definitely like signed on with buying into a lot of the coronavirus stuff.
To his credit, though, he was ahead of the curve, right? When Trump was saying that, oh, it's no big deal, go about your business, the weather will warm up and this will be going away. Chris was the one going, no, I think it's more serious than that, and we should be concerned.
Well, and he's kind of taken an interesting approach where he's personally very concerned about it, but also opposes the government mandates.
Yes.
So he will actually come out of his home and go out and violate the government mandates, but he'll wear a mask and he'll stay away from people.
Right.
So he's still like participating in violating these mandates.
That's the best of both worlds.
Right, but doing
personal
it
responsibility, take care of yourself, but stick it to the man at the same time.
Yeah, so again, my point was like different hosts. We got different hosts on the air. They don't all think the same thing. And we went out and we did this thing. So within minutes after sending this email, I received a response from one of our stations, one of our affiliates, that says, "Hello, Ian. With all due respect and compliments on the overall value of the libertarian points of view on the show," he says in parentheses, "which often balance left-right politics nicely," he says, "our station will be preempting Free Talk Live, likely through the duration of the COVID-19 crisis. While I can appreciate the differing viewpoints and have many questions personally regarding the huge government steps, I believe that our broadcast license to, quote, serve the community, unquote, makes us responsible to put out credible information from officials until the emergency passes." See, you're already losing me. If it comes from an official, it's not by definition credible.
It's that mentality that makes shows like this even more important and more valuable, because it may end up being the lone voice of opposition.
Yeah. And he says, "As a news station first and a talk station second, I hope you'll understand that viewpoint and our decision to discontinue FTL until such a time as the opinions there do not directly come into conflict with our elected leadership at the state and national level." He says, "I hope we'll get through this as quickly as possible, and we'll look forward to putting Free Talk Live back on the station in the future. Stay well, be safe, and God bless."
So you're going to start supporting taxation and war to win a station back?
No. No. And we've lost stations before for having the anti-war viewpoint, actually. We lost a set of, it was actually a 5-station simulcast, which is unusual, a large number of stations. Usually it's like an AM and an FM, but these guys had like 5 FM stations in, I think it was the Jackson, Tennessee area, and they didn't like the fact that we talked about being anti-war, so we got kicked off that station. Another station in Reno booted us off because we were friendly to Muslims. 855-450 free like freedom. You can join us here. It's Free Talk Live. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live.
We're talking about the immigration situation here in this country. Now, Jeff, you have a 5-point plan. I'd like for you to go over the 5 points again.
Oh, sure. Hold on. I just got to turn to the page.
That's fine. And if you, he's got pages worth of
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Number one, close the borders. Put up a barrier on the border. And I mean a barrier.
Like a great wall?
Yeah, a great wall, barrier, stone wall.
Right.
I mean, something that's secure. And then you put a moat underneath.
Holy crap. Alligators in the moat?
All right, now you've got more though, right? We got a wall and a moat, and then what?
And you can put sensors on there. The motion detector.
Motion tracking machine guns too. Spit out some 50 cals at them if it moves.
Ninjas. That's what we need. We just need ninjas mounted at 10-foot intervals along this wall.
The border ninjas.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. With you tonight, you've got Ian.
And Richie Rich.
Also, Freedom's Phoenix is a liberty-oriented news aggregation site if you want the newest and freshest stories and perspectives on current events from those who value liberty. Well, freedomsphoenix.com has it. You can go and sign up for their daily dispatch, and you'll be kept up to date on science, technology, historical findings, liberty news, government overspending, and the rise of the police state. Freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. That's freedomsphoenix.com. Of course, the police state is on a rise unlike we've never seen. I think that we've seen more steps taken in the recent weeks here over this coronavirus thing than we even saw after 9/11. That's how I feel about it.
And no pushback. Like
nothing.
virtually from the general population, not even, less than no pushback, actually calling for it, right? Asking for this.
Begging.
Yeah. Please protect us. And it's not even like, international foreigners, right? It's like out-of-state foreigners, right? Don't let them come into our state. Don't let them come into our territory for fear that they might be carrying the corona with them.
And we've even seen, I think it was last night, we were talking about Florida setting up checkpoints. They're now checking every car coming into the state. If you're from New York or Louisiana, they're going to demand that you quarantine yourself.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean they're putting you in a quarantine directly, but that may mean they're going to follow you around, maybe going to figure out where you're going, check up on you. Who knows what other steps they're going to take.
That was my question, because Hawaii is doing, something similar, like mandating a 14-day quarantine.
Everyone that comes in, right?
And I go, like, how are they enforcing it? Because that's the thing, right? If they can't enforce it, then it's null to begin with, right?
But if everyone does it voluntarily, then it's not null.
Well, but then it doesn't matter, right? Because those that will violate it, they can freely.
That's true.
So,
Well, that's the question: is how much checking up are they doing on people? In fact, you mentioned Hawaii. There are a few bright spots, Richie, and Hawaii's got actually a headline here from the Star Advertiser. 2 arrested, 70 cited for violating stay-at-home orders, according to Honolulu police.
They went to the beach. Talked to my buddy back home about that yesterday.
New Jersey man charged is from Gateway Pundit. New Jersey man charged after throwing coronavirus party with 47 people in attendance.
Good for him.
Belarus, they don't care in Belarus. Story from the AFP. As the rest of Europe shuts up shop to combat the new coronavirus, Belarus remains resolutely open for business.
I think they had soccer matches going on. Football for the Europeans.
Yep. Stockholm, Sweden, also very low regulated compared to surrounding areas. So there are some bright spots out there. Even the president of Brazil has been calling this the little flu. And it's been belittling the entire response.
Did you see the rest of the Brazilian response, though?
No.
Okay, so this is an odd scenario, right? Mm-hmm. Because the president of Brazil is not cracking down, the local gangs are, right? The street gangs are enforcing quarantine orders.
Oh, my God.
So what do you do there, right? Like,
that's crazy.
Who's worse?
So those are just some headlines, right? Those are 4 stories I would love to talk about in greater detail, but there's other things to talk about, including the suicide hotlines. And I mentioned this on a couple of shows recently because we don't have time to talk about all the different news. With last night, for instance, we were wall-to-wall phone calls. We've already got calls on hold. I'm going to go right to the calls here in just a moment, but just to kind of bring you up to speed on some of these news headlines. I mean, there's really some interesting stuff happening out there. Some folks are non-cooperating. They are being civilly disobedient. But, overall, 90+% of people are going along, doing what they're told. They believe the government. We lost a radio station over this because we're not towing the line here on Free Talk Live, because all of our hosts, now they don't all agree, but not all of them are towing the line with the government. So one station said, well, we're just not going to be carrying your show during this.
And even if you believe the government, right, the answer is still not lock everyone down. It's to take individual measures to keep yourself personally safe.
That's right. Because if you are worried about being infected, then just stay away from people.
Yeah, you stay home.
Problem solved.
You stay home, you stay inside,
right.
You get your food delivered, you order your stuff online.
The fact that we were outside today, you and I and a couple other, Captain Kickass was there, and one of our listeners who lives in the area, one of our Discord chatters was there. We were just hanging out in Keene Central Square. I had some food, and we're just chilling, talking. Everything's fine, as far as I'm concerned. But the fact that we're there, if we're transmitting COVID between ourselves, that doesn't affect you if you're hanging out in your house and not seeing anybody.
But what if we take it somewhere else? Right? We carry it.
Well, as long as we don't come in your living room or your bedroom, then you're going to be fine. So anyway, the toll-free number here tonight is 855-450-FREE. We'll talk about the suicide news because it's not good. Because remember, humans are social animals, and they need contact with other humans or they go crazy. And so there's going to be a real downside to all this social isolation, social quarantining, or whatever, social distancing.
Cabin fever's a thing.
Yeah, let's go to the phones here. First up, we've got Mark. He's in Texas. You're on Free Talk Live with Ian and Richie. Hello, Mark. Mark, in Texas. Going once. Mark in Texas, going twice. Maybe he fell asleep on his phone there. I don't know. Let's try Larry. It could be a technical difficulty on the network side. Is Larry with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Larry, you're there. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Hey, this is what I call juking, right?
Juking?
The president says he's going to open up the 6th of April, right?
Okay.
Then he moves it out to the 30th of April. All they're doing is wearing us down before they get the big proposition. But anyway, I was listening to Al Sharpton this morning. It's very funny, right? Some lady called in from New Jersey and says that her daughter worked at a nursing home, right? And they wouldn't give her no protective gear, and they forced her to come in, right? Now, this is a single mother with 10 kids. She's 51 years old. So they keep ordering her to come to work. She goes in, and then she dies, and they say it's of coronavirus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens is she says she goes to pick up her daughter's property. And then they say they had to burn her property because it had corona on it. Well, then she claims now that her daughter had $1,000 rent money in her pockets, and they burnt that up. I mean, that's the kind of foolishness that's going on. I mean, you look at it, guys. If they close this country down for another 30 days for this foolishness, we'll never make it back. Here in my town, everything's closed down. People have started their new businesses, closed down.
Yep.
I don't know what the aim is, but I'm sure we're going to find out in a few.
I'll tell you what,
months.
there's some conspiracy theories out there, but I don't think it's too crazy to say that the aim is economic destruction, to put people in a much worse place economically, to promote the idea of the police state, to promote dependence upon the state. Because if people are in a difficult economic circumstance, then when the state comes along with a check, they're going to be like, "Oh my God, thank God we have the state.
Here's your $1,200."
Yeah, and well,
And you know what they're going to do with what they're going to do with the check is they're going to let it come, and it's only going to be half of what they say it is.
Well, yeah, we were just joking at our meetup that they're going to take taxes off the top of the check. So you're going to get like $900 instead of $1,200.
Well, federal and state employees also pay taxes, which is weird, too.
Thanks, Larry, for the call tonight. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here, 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We'll talk about suicide. It's Free Talk Live. Coming up.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you're invited here if you want to join us on the radio. Live Sunday edition continuing. Our toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. It's 855-450-3733. Tonight it's Ian.
And Richie Rich.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Well, with AnyPay, you can earn passive income now for every purchase made at those businesses that you bring on board with the AnyPay Cash Register app. So here's how you do it. You download the AnyPay Cash Register app. It's iOS, it's Android, so whichever device you got, you're cool. Download the app and set it up for yourself, meaning put your own crypto wallet addresses in the back end. Test it out, get a feel for how the app works if you've never used it before. Then install it at your favorite real-life businesses that are wanting to come on board with accepting cryptocurrency. And there's no better time than now.
Or the new home-based businesses that are going to be cropping up very soon.
Sure. But also a lot of businesses are really interested right now in touchless payment solutions. And cryptocurrency is touchless every single time. You don't have to touch some keypad.
The only one.
Right?
Swipe your card, slide your card.
Yeah, you don't have to. Because I was at Walmart today, for instance, and they got that card thing, that scanner thing for your, whatever you call it, the chip card.
Yep.
You put that in, and then you got to punch the screen, and then you got to, answer a question or two or whatever. So you're touching the same thing that some other people have touched all day long. Thousands of people probably touch that. They're not coming out and sanitizing that down after every customer or anything like that.
But if you're concerned about it, you should have your own Sani wipes, and you wipe it down before you hit the button yourself.
Or you can just get AnyPay out there, and then you can use cryptocurrency, and then all you got to do is use your smartphone, and they've got a tablet that it's just QR code based, so it's just scanning things. You don't have to touch anybody's Walmart. That would be amazing if Walmart started taking cryptocurrency, but that's a pretty big project. I don't expect you're going to be able to recruit Walmart unless you're like one of the Walmart family. What's the
Sam Walton?
Waltons, yeah, the Walton brothers. Sam, I think, is passed on, but his family
He's the
still runs it.
founder.
So you then install AnyPay Cash Register app at your favorite business and tell them you did it at anypayinc.com. That way they can give you the credit for it. You can start getting the passive income from any Bitcoin Cash or Dash purchases that happen at that business. Anypayinc.com. It's anypayinc.com. As we go back to your phone calls and thoughts coming up, the suicide problem is getting worse possibly during the coronavirus lockdowns. Let's go to Justin in New Jersey first. You're on Free Talk Live. Justin.
Yeah, hi guys. I just wanted to know if you heard of the party on Friday in New Jersey that was actually busted up by the police. They had about 40.
Wade Jackson.
They charged
he was issued summonses for, quote, obstructing the administration of law or other governmental function and violating the, quote, emergency and temporary acts.
Yeah, I just want to know, are they allowed to do that legally? Like, can they fine them under law?
These are criminal charges. I suspect he's going to be facing jail time.
Jail time for having a party.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So just like anything, like when the question comes up is, can they do it legally? The answer is always yes, until it's challenged.
Right.
Right. So someone has to get busted for doing something like this, and then they have to win in court. Right. Like he's going to have to get arrested. He's going to have to get charged. He's going to have to have as many court dates and appeals as it takes for someone down the line to go nope, they weren't allowed to do that, and here's your compensation. But until someone challenges it, right, everything they do is by the books, according to them.
Right. So do you think he'll actually see jail for this, or do you think it's possible that he'll get out of it?
Well, it'll depend on what he does, because they are going to come at him with these charges. And I have not looked to verify what the potential jail time is for this. I'll tell you that in New Hampshire, if you violate the emergency orders of a governor, they can charge you with a misdemeanor, which would mean up to a year in jail. Just for that charge. But they charged him with a similar charge in New Jersey. Again, that is the emergency and temporary acts charge. The other charge is, quote, obstructing the administration of law or other governmental function. I went to jail for doing an obstruction of government charge in New Hampshire, and I spent 58 days on a 90-day sentence on what could have been up to a year in jail on that. That was also a misdemeanor charge. So this guy may be facing, again, New Hampshire, New Jersey, not the same place. Yeah. I'm not saying that New Jersey has the same punishments. They may be even more draconian. They may be less. I'm not sure, but
and they might offer him a plea.
They're going to offer him a plea. They're going to do that, or they'll make an example out of him. Who knows? Maybe they'll throw the book
under
at
these circumstances.
Right? Maybe they'll throw the book at this guy. It's really hard to say, but these bureaucrats take their orders real seriously, and they want people to take them seriously, and so they're using this to show people, hey, you can't be having a party. We're going to shut you down. In fact, the police, according to the story here at thegatewaypundit.com, they link to the Ewing Police Department in New Jersey. They've got a press release they put out about this yesterday. And right at the very end of the press release, it says that citizens are encouraged to report on their neighbors.
Snitches.
Yes. So, citizens are urged to report any large gatherings to the Ewing Police Department, and it gives the phone number.
It actually sounds like they actually went out of their way to do this, because it said that there were 47 people crammed inside of a 550 square foot apartment.
Even better as far as a protest is concerned, right? There has to be pushback, and someone has to lead the charge, right? There has to be. The average citizen cannot let the state take this type of measures without any resistance whatsoever and expect to get any sort of freedom and liberty back at the end of this.
Last night, Ewing Township Police broke a party up with 47 people, including a DJ, crammed into a 550 square foot apartment. The organizer was charged, as they should have been and deserve to be, Governor Phil Murphy wrote on his Twitter, saying further, "This is not a game. Stay home. Be smart."
They were home. They all lived there.
So obviously you find this pretty ridiculous, Justin. You think that people should be able to have a party if they want to?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's your own apartment, it's your own home. You should be able to do whatever you want inside of a place that you own or pay rent.
Ha! That's what you thought. Turns out it isn't yours after all, because a bunch of men with guns can come in there and just decide to break up anything that you're doing anytime they want. And wouldn't matter if it was 47 people or if it was just a close group of 12 friends or whatever who wanted to come have a dinner party and play some Yahtzee or whatever together, right? Like that's also illegal.
Bridge night at the old folks' home.
Yeah, that's also not allowed under these insane restrictive coronavirus rules. This is a total police state.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw that on his Twitter. He also went on to say that he's going to continue to name and shame everyone that continues to do these actions.
Yeah, that's what they're calling the quarantine shaming, where people are using their social attacks against other people to try to shame them into being obedient. We've just experienced it here on Free Talk Live, where one of our radio stations has decided to pull out. He was very nice about it, the program director, but he says because we don't toe the line, we're not going along with what the government says, we don't belong on his station during this situation. So we just lost one of our 200 stations.
That should be worn with a badge of honor.
Thanks, Justin. I appreciate your call here tonight. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And I'm actually looking here at the story. The first comment says, I'm sorry, but this is totally unconstitutional. And it doesn't matter.
Right. It has to be challenged. If you want them to roll that back, he's got to challenge it and win at some point in their legal system somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Has this ever happened? Has anyone ever tried to challenge the emergency statutes? Because that's what these things are based on, right? Like they cite here in the story, one of the charges was he was charged with violating the, quote, emergency and temporary acts. Yeah. That's the state of emergency authorization that the state of New Jersey has. All the states have this. New Hampshire has one, too. I was actually looking at it the other day because we were getting ready to go out and do this, violation, basically, of the stay-at-home order here in New Hampshire. And we were wondering, is this constitutional? Is this something that is authorized by the Constitution? No, the Constitution doesn't address things like this, but this is statutory. So they created statutes that authorize these emergency orders and these emergency powers, and the emergency powers are basically just, we can do whatever we want. That's the summary of it, and clearly that's not constitutional, but would the courts agree?
No. It's their courts.
Yeah, they like power, so I wouldn't get my hopes up to win these cases. More coming up.
We've all seen and perhaps use the alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Have you noticed how it dries your skin, and as soon as the alcohol evaporates, it's no longer effective? GCNteam.com has alcohol-free antibacterial soap and foam meeting or exceeding all requirements set forth by the United States Food and Drug Administration. Come to GCNteam.com, keyword antibacterial, or call 877-878-4203.
Attention all radio listeners who still need food supplies. If you've thought about the implication of food-related supply chain disruptions and are concerned about the coming quarantines, this will be the most important message you will ever hear. Here's why. In the next few days, all Americans will face extremely hard choices. If we've learned anything from China and Italy, it's that quarantines and enforced lockdowns are just a few days away here in the U.S. Listen, while dehydrated food is becoming scarce, you can still get enough open pollinated heirloom seeds to grow a 1-acre crisis garden. The truth is, growing nutrient-dense vegetables in the days ahead may actually be the single most important thing you do. Go to survivalseedbank.com and watch the new video to understand the nature of the threat. This could be life-saving. Lockdowns can last from 6 to 8 weeks. Get free bonus seeds, special quarantine reports too. Go to survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey.
Who do you think you are?
Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it. Wait now.
Wait a minute.
Really Whoa! Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Richie Rich.
I would love for somebody to challenge some of these emergency order statutes.
You got to violate it first.
Find them as, to be unconstitutional. That would be wonderful. It's just, man, you're up against the entirety of the state. They are going to defend that with all of their might, and you have to find an attorney who's willing to take that case as well.
And even if you can get a jury trial, right, you're going to have a lot of pissed off citizens.
Yeah, how do you find a jury where they don't have an opinion about coronavirus, right? Because, right, like when you're selecting a jury, you're supposed to find people who don't know about the case.
Right.
Right, who don't have a pre-existing opinion about the case. So, like, O.J. Simpson had to have a jury of people that didn't know who O.J. Simpson was, didn't know that he was accused of murdering his wife and the other guy. And you can find that in a murder case. But in this coronavirus case, this is literally something that everyone is being affected by.
Yes.
It would be very difficult to be in the United States and not be aware that there's incredible changes underfoot all around you because of this.
Or be impartial to it, again, considering how many people are calling for this type of behavior from the state.
Right. Oh, and don't forget, jury trials have been postponed. So who knows when you're actually going to get the trial. You may be sitting in a jail cell awaiting trial, and of course, even if you do end up winning, you don't get your months back that you sat in the jail cell. You don't get the time back. So
the money has to be worth it then.
Yeah. I'm not saying don't do this. I'm just saying, man, I hope somebody can. I hope they have the money to do it, and they've got the attorneys that can take this on, because it would be amazing to overturn emergency statutes. It does make me wonder if any of this stuff has ever been challenged in the past, because during situations like this, most people just do what they're told, so you don't see a whole lot of stories about people being arrested. We've seen a few. There have been, a handful that have come across our plate here. We're going to go to your phone calls and thoughts. You can bring up whatever you want. Again, the toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. I do want to say thanks to D. Harvey. D. Harvey is a Free Talk Live silver amplifier, meaning that D. Harvey is contributing $5 a month to the AMP program, helping us get on more radio stations around the United States, bringing new internet listeners on board, exposing new people to the ideas of freedom, and giving people an opportunity to express themselves, because we have our opinions, but you've got yours, and our phones are open, so you can always join us here. And it's thanks to listeners like D. Harvey for amping the show to help us get on more stations, and
especially through these trying times where we're losing stations.
We lost one, but we've gained 8 in the last 3 months. So I mean, we're still doing all right. So if you want to join the AMP program like D. Harvey, go to amp.freetalklive.com. Although, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow morning when a bunch of these program directors go back to work and check their emails. So we'll see. Maybe we'll lose more than one station. But you know what? Principles cost. There are
so
costs.
I said during the break, there's sacrifices to be made for holding a principled position. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
Got to be willing to pay the price. So thanks to D. Harvey for backing us up, because it helps. Like, when we're up against a wall by the status quo, it's nice to know that listeners have our backs on this. So you can join the AMP program at amp.freetalklive.com, amp.freetalklive.com. We're going to Discord, where Simonov Carbine is on the line with us here. Is that a gun, Simonov? It sounds like a gun to me.
Yeah, actually, I got my name from, have you ever heard of an SKS?
I've heard of it, yeah. I don't know. I can't think of what it looks like, but I've definitely heard of it.
Yeah, it's an old military surplus rifle. I really couldn't think of a name, so I just decided to go with something I liked.
Is Simonov a Russian name? Where is that from?
That's actually the inventor of the rifle. It was... it's something in Russian, but it's Simonov, something with the K, and then the other S is for a carbine.
SKS 45. I see it here on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, man. What you calling about tonight?
Well, I was wanting to call and talk to y'all about the state of the Libertarian Party.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Well, I was actually just wanting to talk and ask, why is libertarianism not as popular like conservatism or liberalism is here in America? I know we had like a huge spike in things such as the Tea Party when Obama got elected, but why does it seem like we're still stuck with a two-party system?
Are you new to third-party politics?
Kind of. Like, I was introduced to it, but I've noticed more of my views would be more on the libertarian scale than your standard left wing or right wing.
So is the question, why aren't more people libertarians, or why isn't the Libertarian Party making decent headway?
Kind of both, but mostly why aren't we making a decent headway?
You want to field this one?
Now,
I'll give it a shot. I'm not a party member. I've not, never participated in that sort of thing. But it seems to me that the Libertarian Party doesn't make headway is because every time a third party gets a little bit, gets an inch, they shut it down, right? So the last time there was a real third party challenge was Ross Perot, and I was in 6th grade at the time. And after he, did well in the debates and started to make like a real challenge toward the two-party system, the two-party system got together and changed the debate rules.
That's right.
To exclude third parties and make it even more difficult for them to participate in those debates. On a psychological level, I think this goes back to the election of Adolf Hitler in war times, where he was elected with not a majority vote, right? He won with like 30% of the vote, or somewhere in the mid-30s, and look what he did. So to me, people gravitate towards the two-party system because at least with the two-party system in a majority rule situation, you have 50% plus of the people voting, right? Like you can say like most people wanted this person to win. So it mitigates against that. Well, most people didn't want this guy and he won anyway, and look what power he has. So with two parties, it's 50% plus one or 51%, however you want to work that number, where at least you can say majority won.
I want to take a crack at this one. I think that it has to do more with humans and their desire to control others. And I think that ultimately people are not ready for these ideas yet because they can't let go of their desire to tell other people how to live, to tell other people what to do, or the desire to be told what to do, right? To have some great leader be in charge of them because they think somebody else knows better how to live, and they should be told what to do. It makes them feel safe. It makes them feel secure.
Even now, look to the authorities for guidance.
Yeah. And so I think that I think the fact that the government is in charge is also, they run the school system, for instance, so they've been indoctrinating people for decades, for generations into this two-party system. But also I think it really has to do just because if you look at just the libertarian message, it's just not widely accepted. Even when it's heard, a lot of people on the face of it, they like the idea of living their own life and being free in their own life, but they just can't let go of the idea of how uncomfortable it makes them feel when they think about what other people might do with their freedom. Because then
miscreants.
Then they feel like, well, I trust myself with freedom, but those weird people down the street, I mean, we can't just let them have freedom. Who knows what kind of weird stuff they're going to be doing?
They'll ruin my freedom.
Yeah, well, and so people who want to control others, they end up finding themselves being controlled. That's sort of just the way that manifests out into reality is like if you want to control people, then don't be surprised when a control grid gets put into place and you just become a piece of cattle for some farmer or whatever, the farmer being the state.
Especially when you build that infrastructure, right, and then lose control of it.
Yeah.
Right, because then it gets turned on you.
But then they just, when it is turned upon them, like for instance right now, you got the Democrats who are in charge in D.C. with the exception of Trump. Sometimes it's all Dems, sometimes it's all Republicans, and then the other side's just like they redouble their efforts. They want to take it back. They don't want to get rid of the system. They don't want to say, you know what, this is a failed experiment. Let's just opt out. Let's be free. Forget about it. Don't tell me how to live my life. I'll leave you alone. You leave me alone. No, it's like, well, the people we don't like, they got control. Now we got to take it back. Now we got to get control of them. We got to tell them what to do. We got to tax them. We got to regulate them. And it's just this endless fight. And when the libertarians come along, we're like, hey, how about we just leave each other alone? They're like, no. Those people want to tell me how to live. I'm going to tell them how to live. And it just keeps on going. And then you got a situation like this that came up where it really just shows how many people in America and the rest of the world to some extent just want to be told what to do, and that it makes them feel safe, makes them feel secure. They'd rather trade all their liberties away for some feeling of temporary safety. And it's just really sad. It's depressing, honestly.
They'll get neither.
And Simonov, I hope that we've answered your question, did we?
Yeah, and actually I was kind of thinking around the same thing.
Hold that thought. I want you to be able to express that here in just a moment. In hour number 2 coming up. Free Talk Live.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now's your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,643, silver at $14.61, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,203. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Doctors for Assange, a group of 195 medical professionals from 30 countries, released a statement Friday, strongly condemning a British court decision to keep WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange incarcerated, despite a possible outbreak of COVID-19 at Belmarsh Prison in London, where Assange is being held. The group argued that due to his history of medical neglect, extremely fragile health, and his chronic lung condition, Assange was at particular risk of both contracting and dying from the virus. Minpress News reports that despite acknowledging he was at increased risk, the district judge denied him bail because she considered him a flight risk. The Australian publisher's hearing played out in a bizarre circumstance on Wednesday. The court, like the rest of the United Kingdom, was on lockdown, meaning only 15 people were in attendance. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. The coronavirus pandemic has caused worldwide panic, with many countries struggling to come up with an appropriate aid package or a coronavirus relief bill as the number of COVID-19 cases spikes. Not sitting on the sideline, crypto companies are doing their part to help. Activist Post reports blockchain-powered donation platform Binance Charity initiated a $5 million coronavirus relief campaign on Wednesday. As of press time, its Crypto Against COVID campaign had received 24 donations, amounting to a total of 160.6306 Bitcoin, its website details. A wallet has been set up for public donations, which can be made in BNB, BTC, BUSD, and XRP. Binance explained that it will make an upfront donation of $1 million in BUSD, which will be converted to fiat and used to purchase supplies to send to hospitals in affected countries. Binance is also matching donations of up to $1 million. As healthcare workers continue to cope with a tsunami of patients infected with COVID-19, they've been forced to cope with critical shortages of N95 face masks that block the virus. The Mind Unleashed reports that some facilities like New York Presbyterian Hospital are burning through no less than 40,000 N95 masks per day. But now, researchers at Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, say they've discovered a method to decontaminate the masks and reuse them, extending a crucial lifeline to frontline medical staff coping with surging cases of the virus. Scientists are using specialized equipment to vaporize hydrogen peroxide, permeating the layers of the N95 mask with a cleansing aerosol that can kill germs, including viruses, without degrading the materials used in the precious masks. The decontamination technology and method has long been in use by Duke Health's Biocontainment Lab, but applying it to the typically disposable N95 masks had not been considered until the present crisis. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A cool guy from middle school is still sporting his fat pair of Jinkos. A stunned St. Peter's Square crowd hears the Pope getting bitched out by God, and an 8th grader caked in makeup is probably really confident. This is The Onion Week in Review. This week, a Pew Research Center poll found that the vast majority of Americans would watch a television show called Love Trap, with most saying that regardless of the show's genre or quality, they would tune in weekly to see its stars stumble into romantic triangles, double-cross one another, and contend with whatever the titular love trap refers to. The survey confirmed that 62% of Americans would likely watch Love Trap to see a shrewd but cold-hearted Southern belle named Tammy. 23% of the nation hoped the show would be referred to as The Trap by its most loyal fans, and 15% of respondents said they simply needed something to watch. And in this week's Science News, a biologist completes a 5-minute study of the pathetic organism in his mirror. In other news, a man confidently hits send on the worst job application a company has ever seen.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want here as we launch into the second hour of the live Sunday edition of the program. With you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian.
And Richie Rich.
Coming up, suicide hotline calls are on the rise significantly, and there's stories of actual suicide in the news as well, as people are outside of the norm. They are no longer being allowed to go to work, have to stay at home in many states. I think last numbers I saw was 3 billion people in the world are under stay-at-home or lockdown orders, so about half the world's population, and that was as of the end of last week, so it may be even worse as of tonight. If you want to weigh in on these things and explain, how you feel, you're welcome to join us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. That's where we're going back to here at discord.lrn.fm. Simonov is on the line with us here, and he had asked sort of the perennial question about libertarians is like, well, why don't libertarians do better with elections and spreading these ideas,
recruiting,
bringing people on board, and I think we both kind of had some somewhat differing answers. But Simonov, I wanted to see where you were coming from and what you wanted to say about it. Go ahead.
Well, I've kind of had the idea of it's the fact that the party wants to be so free. We have so many different ideas in the party because we believe in that individual choice. Whereas, when you look at a normal political party, they rally around, several points. Like conservatives that rally around gun rights and the Constitution. They say you have the liberals who rally around stuff such as, weed legalization, stuff like that. Whereas the Libertarian Party, we have a mixture of everything. We have kind of sects of people in that group. We have some groups of people that believe in freedom of choice for everything, but they might not agree with abortion or weed legalization. And they're their own little clique.
What, you've got the libertarian wing of the Libertarian Party. I don't know how much of a joke that was, but that was a thing a few months ago.
Yeah, I don't think the issue is that libertarians have too many issues. I mean, because libertarians, they can reach out to different people because they have a wide variety of issues that are important to them. That means that they can connect with people on the right on those issues that matter to them that we agree on, and they can connect with people on the left on those issues that matter to them that they agree on. But even when you can connect with folks, even if they might agree with you on a lot of things, it's still then you're up against this whole two-party system mentality where there's this wasted vote syndrome idea of, well, I can't vote, even though I agree more with you libertarians, I can't vote for you because then Trump might win or then Hillary might win. And so they end up getting stuck in this rut, and it's very, very difficult to talk people out of that. And that's if they, even take you seriously enough to listen to what you have to say anyways, because, again, a lot of people are just not interested in freedom. They're not interested in freedom because they don't want other people to be free. And I think that's really where the problems come from. People don't believe in freedom. They don't see the value in it. And then nothing has made it more crystal clear than these last 3 weeks.
And personal responsibility is hard work. It takes effort, right? To be able to do things and say, like, I did those things. Those are my actions. Everything that resulted from that action is all my responsibility, when you can easily pass the buck to somebody else and play the blame game in your personal life as well.
Right, and the libertarian movement is much larger than the Libertarian Party. I mean, your questions, Simonov, have all been surrounding the party itself. I'm personally not even a member of the National Libertarian Party. I resigned more than a decade ago from them because, to me, they weren't doing a good enough job of communicating the ideas of liberty. So for me, they lost my support because they weren't libertarian enough. They had watered down their message so much over the years. I was disappointed with that. And then they went ahead and nominated Bob Barr, a former Republican representative from Georgia who used to be an arch drug warrior, used to, I believe, head the CIA, or at least was a CIA agent. I mean, they brought this guy on board to run as their presidential candidate. And Gary Johnson wasn't that much better than Bob Barr. So, I mean, the Libertarian Party nationally has been a huge disappointment as far as, my perspective of they should be communicating the ideas of liberty in a principled manner, and they honestly haven't done it since the days of Harry Brown, more than, approximately 20, I guess it's been 20 years since Harry Brown ran for president in the year 2000. So, I don't think the Libertarian Party is the solution for liberty. It's just one more mouthpiece that sadly has become corrupted over time. Thanks for the call tonight, Simonov. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. Let's go to your phone calls and thoughts. We got Richard. He's on the line in Oregon. Listening. Where are you in Oregon, Richard? I'm not real clear on where you're calling from.
Klamath Falls, Oregon.
Klamath Falls. Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
You're on Free Talk Live.
Yes, sir. I kind of heard you bad-mouthing law enforcement.
What do you mean?
And you were talking about how the police have the right to pull you over and those kind of things. I believe that's what I heard you say. Anyhow,
I'll badmouth law enforcement. So continue.
Well, no, I won't badmouth law enforcement generally. I think that there's some cops who are in it for the right reasons. They really thought they were going to be going after, the bad guys, real criminals, murderers, and rapists. And when that's what they're doing, I don't have any problem with that. I'm totally fine with investigating real criminals. But I will criticize them when they are going after peaceful people who are not harming others, like this guy who threw a party in his apartment in New Jersey, or teenagers who want to have a drink at a high school party or a college party or whatever. They're under the age of 21. Somebody with marijuana in their pocket or some other chemical, and other people who might want to open a business without asking permission. So there's all kinds of things that the police do that I don't think they should be doing. What do you think, Richard?
Well, I'm grateful that we have such a good police department here in Oregon. We have a pretty much the I-5 running through Central Oregon. It's a total highway of drugs, a lot of cartel, Hispanics, and I like the idea that they can pull them over for a headlight, and give them the opportunity for a possible search and seizure, which is in the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment, and
the Fourth Amendment protects you from unreasonable search and seizure.
But the headlight out makes it reasonable.
Right, but it also gives them the right, if you're being illegal in the eyes of the law, which says you have to maintain your vehicle, have a driver's license, be driving prudently. Those kind of things are important too. And if they pull these vehicles over, and all the time they're making huge methamphetamine and heroin busts.
That's sad.
And I'm totally grateful. We have such a problem with.
Why are you grateful? What makes you think that your life is better because they're putting peaceful people in prison?
Oh, peaceful people that are selling heroin and meth?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a peaceful act between two consenting adults, sir.
Well, if I
Who's
go
the
to
victim?
The prison here I go up to the prison every Wednesday night, and I deal with some of these peaceful people that are so hooked and far out crazy on meth and heroin that they're doing all these crimes.
Oh,
Now,
well, if they're committing crimes with a victim, then that's a problem. But I've known people who've done drugs without committing crimes.
That's the key right
certainly.
there. You have to separate the drug use from the actual criminal act, and then remedy the criminal act as opposed to stopping all the drugs.
All my life, I don't smoke now. Now that it's legal, it's funny. I don't smoke, and I didn't like the idea of possibly going to prison and having our prisons full of pot smokers.
But it would have made your life so much better if that happened to you at a young age. Would have set you straight.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm also a big.
He's being facetious, by the way.
Constitution. Pardon?
He was being facetious with you by saying it would set you straight.
And I didn't have any problems with it, really. I probably spent a few dollars that I shouldn't have spent on marijuana. I probably could have, put them towards more useful things.
Mm-hmm. So what's wrong with the heroin user or the methamphetamine user that does that as well?
I haven't seen too many positive users of the drug. All I've seen is the.
Would they tell you about it? If you knew somebody who was a weekend warrior on heroin, what do you think he would come forth and tell you about it?
I know an awful lot
wears
about
long sleeve
there's
shirts
not
to work.
too many weekend warriors with heroin.
I didn't think that either until one of them actually called in and told us about it, and I believed him. Thanks for the call tonight, Richard. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And, of course, we should say that if drugs were legal, then they wouldn't cost as much, and you wouldn't see as much crime associated with their use. There's more coming up here at Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live and the live Sunday edition. As always, you're invited to join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And you can take control of the airwaves here, bring up whatever's on your mind. With you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian.
And Richie Rich.
Also, I want you to know about Bitcoin.com. Right now, Bitcoin's down a little bit. It's been around 6,000, 6,500 the last few days, but now it just broke beneath $5,900 for
I'm seeing 59 right now.
Bitcoin. So it might be a good time to learn about cryptocurrency, especially if you find yourself with a little extra time on your hands because you don't have to go to work. You want to learn something new, go to Bitcoin.com and start going through the basics about Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and cryptocurrency. What better time to learn about it? And if you can afford it, pick a little bit of cryptocurrency up. I'm not going to tell you which ones to buy.
Learn how to day trade crypto while you're stuck at home.
I don't know if that's a good plan. I've heard that's pretty risky. But, I don't think there's anything wrong with diversifying yourself a little bit. Maybe getting a little crypto, maybe a little gold or silver, for instance.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hate the people who diversify into more crypto, right? Like, that doesn't count, man.
Well, I mean, they are different.
Sure.
But, they could all fail. Who knows what's going to happen in the future. But I do know what's going to happen in the future as far as what the federal government's going to do. They're going to print trillions of dollars and increment the numbers in the money supply, which may very well drive the price of cryptocurrency up. Can't predict what's going to happen to the crypto price, but I can predict what the Federal Reserve will do. They are going to keep printing money. That's something they always do. So you can count on that. And now with $2.2 trillion of more money printing right around the corner, it's only a matter of time before you start seeing, I think, other things rise in compensation, like gold and silver historically have kept up with inflation over time. So cryptocurrency is another way for you to, I think, protect the wealth that you have acquired. Go to Bitcoin.com and start learning about the basics. That's where you should start. We continue here with your calls and thoughts. Dave is in New York. You're on Free Talk Live with Ian and Richie. Hello, Dave.
Hey there. How you doing? And by the way, there is no virus.
There's no virus? Wait, what?
There is no beer virus.
There's no beer virus?
I'll buy that.
All of you have been duped by a textbook narcissist, a brilliant sociopath.
Who's that?
Oh my God. Everybody is going crazy over nothing. There is no virus going around.
Can you just stop screaming into the phone for a moment? Okay, I understand you're all fired up and you're very opinionated, and that's good. We like passion. But if you're screaming into the phone, it makes it difficult to understand you. So just
take a breath.
Take a breath, calm down, and tell me what it is you're trying to say about there is no virus. Who is it that has fooled everybody? You seem to think it was one person in particular?
Everyone has been duped by a textbook narcissist, a brilliant sociopath.
Who's that?
Everyone.
No. Who's the Which sociopath are you talking about? Because there are a lot of them out there.
Who's doing the duping?
Are you talking about a politician? Which one?
I'm just saying this because everyone has been duped by a textbook.
What did I tell you?
Yeah. No,
I told you.
I knew it was coming. I
He
listened.
just talks the same thing over and over again. Look, Dave, why aren't you on our Discord server calling on the Discord lines?
Because you have apparently banned me or blocked me or something.
No, sir. There's no one blocked from our Discord server. We do not block. We do not ban. It does not happen.
That's the other radio show you call into.
I'm looking right here at the ban list. Richie, do you see any bans on that
banned.
list? No bans.
I tried to get on there and it says, I've been blocked or banned or something.
Maybe you
That's
got
not
banned
true.
from Discord.
Maybe you made a mistake. Yeah, maybe Discord banned him. Go to discord.lrn.fm. But look, why can't you name the name, Dave? Who is it that you're accusing of having pulled the wool over everybody's eyes?
Before they take you out, we need to name the names.
Andy freaking Cuomo.
Andy Cuomo. Oh, the New York governor guy.
So in New York, they've been duped
He's not
by the
my
governor.
and Trump is not my president.
All right, now let me say this. I mean, I appreciate people who are skeptical, right? Like, it's good to be skeptical. It's good to disbelieve politicians. Politicians lie, and they lie to achieve more power over our lives. And there's no doubt that this Cuomo guy is a power seeker to the max. I mean, he's the governor of New York.
Yep.
You've got to be a power seeker to seek a position like that. And he's trying to crack down and destroy as much freedom as possible. Not that New York had much to begin with.
I don't even like him.
Yeah, he's a politician. I mean, and they're very detestable. So I'll agree with you.
I just don't like the guy. I don't like him. I have never liked him. I don't like Trump. He is
okay.
I don't like
they're
any of
all
that.
gross. They're icky people. They're liars. They're scum. You're right. They are sociopaths. They are just terrible human beings. This is one of the reasons why. But I don't know if that means the virus doesn't exist. I'm going to say that there probably is a virus. You know, there's enough people in the medical community who seem to believe that the virus exists. So I'm going to go ahead and say there's probably a virus. I just don't buy that it's as dangerous as they say that it is. What?
And by the way, I have a job, and I don't stay at home every day. People say, stay at home, stay at home. I don't stay at home. I have a job. And people are saying, wash your hands, wash your hands. You know what I say? I say, take a shower, and use deodorant because you smell.
Good advice, Dave. Thanks for the call.
That's
tonight,
all good
man.
advice.
I appreciate it.
You should probably wash your hands if they're dirty. You should probably shower.
We still have plenty of water, okay? There's not a shortage of that right now. Although it's a little tougher to get soap than it was previously. They had some in stock at the Walmart that I was at today. Some like hand pump soap was there, but not a whole lot. And there was no refill soap. I was looking for some refill soap for the LRN bathroom. We're not out yet.
Okay.
We probably can get through a few months with what we've got, but
that's one of the few areas that I was already pre-stocked up on, just because of a former job that I had, where collected those things.
So we're going to continue with your calls and thoughts. The toll-free number is 855-450 free like freedom. Let's go to Mel, calling also from New York. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Mel. How are you listening tonight?
I'm listening to you on Talk Right, the Talk Right app, Talk Right Radio app.
Talk Right Radio. I'm gonna have to check this one out. I've never heard about it. Go ahead. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, thank God I live 3 hours and 15 minutes north of guys like Dave, and in New York, and they're not allowed north of the Tappan Zee Bridge. Thank God. But I was just calling. I wanted to know what your opinion is on the target date that the president came out with, and now it's been extended to the end of April.
Oh, has it?
30th.
I don't mind the optimism from the president on that, right? Like if you want, it's good to have goals in any situation. And if you're saying like the goal is to have this done by April 6th, fine, right? The goal is to have this extended to April 30th, fine, right? But it's all the anti-freedom steps that's happening in the interim, that's a problem. But if you want to set a goal and say like, we're going to be back in business, then at least the businesses that have shut down have something to look forward to, right? They're not held in limbo going like, we have no idea when we can reopen. We have no idea when we're going to start generating income again. We have no idea when we're going to start producing again. So at least there's some end in sight for those folks.
Mel, hold on if you can. I want to bring you back here and give you a chance to express yourself further and share your thoughts with us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. If you want to get on the lines, Ian and Richie here in the studio, the live Sunday edition of Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever's on your mind.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Yep, it's Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that's on your mind. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got the Discord call-in line rooms as well. We got somebody on the line there. We're going to go to that Discord call here in a little bit. With you tonight, it's Ian.
And Richie Rich.
Also, want to make sure you know about Intercoin. Intercoin is working to make cryptocurrency go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. If you missed your opportunity to get in on Bitcoin from the start, then here's your chance to join what might be the next revolution in money. Check out intercoin.org, and if you like what you see, you can pick up some of those coins for yourself. Just as the internet is a global network that connects local networks, Intercoin is a global currency platform that enables communities around the world to issue and manage their own currency so they may circulate it among their local population. Intercoin enables fintech innovation on the local community level, leading to stronger communities, greater sustainability, less poverty, and more productivity. Check out intercoin.org. And Free Talk Live listeners must know that Free Talk Live received $40,000 worth of tokens from Intercoin Incorporated for this advertising. As we continue, we go back to Mel. He's in New York. Mel, you'd called in with some thoughts. You wanted to get our opinion, but I wanted to make sure you had a chance to get all your thoughts out. So go ahead.
Oh, yeah. First of all, I am a black American, a former Democrat, never to go back.
Okay.
I support this president because he's a guy who come into this position well off. He didn't need this job. He did it from the goodness of his heart to try to right the ship. But
I don't know about
how's
that.
that been working?
Yeah.
Well, how's it been working? Oh, well, when he first got in there, my 403B, which I had in there, I saw that double. But as far as now, you got Anthony Fauci, who was kind of a Obama criminal, a puppet that would want to do everything along with the deep state to try and crash the Trump economy and put all.
So what you're saying is Trump has failed. You're saying Trump has failed to. You're saying Trump has failed to so-called right the ship.
Well, if he's going to take advice from people who are out to sink the ship, which I think that in the HI. The health, or whatever, Fauci's ahead of that. Well, first of all, to be appointed to the position instead of having to run for it, there's got to be some back.
Why would a smart guy like Trump take advice from those people, though?
Well, that's a question. That is a very good question. I appreciate that. I just can't. I don't think the ramifications that he may have. To go and say, listen, I had enough of you. You got to go and try to appoint somebody. Oh, look what he's appointed, coming from the left. Oh, he's appointing somebody that's going to be right up his sleeve, this and that and the other, to make it look as though, right now at this point, to try and put ripples in the water toward his election. This is an election year.
Is it possible that Trump is just as controlled as any other politician that's ever been in that position?
That, after a while, you kind of think that those are very good. That's a very good possibility.
Yeah, maybe he just fooled everybody. Maybe he just appeared to be an outsider, but the reality was he was selected for that position, just like everyone before him.
I'm not going to go that far.
Well, and if you don't need the money, then it's ego.
You're shown things, you're seeing things, and sometimes people get those deeper staters that can cause yourself some harm.
Yeah, see, this whole deep state thing, I just, it just seems like a fantasy. The story is that, like these people that believe in it is like, well, there's good people in the government, and they're fighting against these evil deep state people. We just got to get rid of the deep state people and put the good people in. And the thing is, government isn't good. It doesn't attract good people. The government is an evil idea. It is an idea that allows bad people who are in seek of power. And thank you, Mel, for your call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. People who are seeking power over others, whether they call themselves Democrats or Republicans or even Libertarians, for that matter, people who seek to control. That's what this organization achieves. It gives people violent tools to use against peaceful people to promote their friends and punish their enemies and aggregate more power to their organizations so they can keep doing that. That's all it is.
And the violence behind that removes the frustration of being told no or any disagreement, right? When you have to persuade someone of something and you fail to convince them, right? Then you're frustrated because, oh my gosh, I couldn't convert them to my point of view. But when you have the state,
you can just make them.
You can just make them, right?
Or else.
Exactly.
Let's continue here. We've got, looks like Chris in Wisconsin listening online via TuneIn. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, what's on your mind tonight?
Yeah, so I did want to kind of touch on that caller. I think his name was Robert. He was a little upset, I guess, about something you guys may have said about law enforcement. I think my issue is if this coronavirus, all these lockdowns, mandates, shelter in place, whatever you want to call it, all these dictates, prove anything, is that for the most part these guys will do exactly what they're told. And it amazes me that a lot of guys... You mean
the people will do what they're told, or the law enforcement?
The people do what they're told. Well, both, I guess, but I'm referring to law enforcement. Yep. Yeah. Law enforcement will do what they're told. They are agents of the state. They sell their moral compass for a paycheck. Right. I mean, granted, like you said, there are some that don't, and there are some that probably have good intentions, but I think that quickly fades away the longer they get in there. Like, well, if I want to keep my paycheck, I'm going to have to say goodbye to this.
Well, and if the people did what they were told, you wouldn't need law enforcement to enforce all these things.
Good ideas don't require force.
That's true.
So and what gets me is a lot of these guys that are, real gung-ho on the Second Amendment, they just have absolutely no problem with them completely wiping their backsides with the First Amendment. They just they don't care. They feel safer. And they're fools, because if the stroke of a pen from your governor can remove your First Amendment rights, why do you think that won't happen with the Second Amendment? I mean, and if you're not willing to use your Second Amendment rights to defend the First, well, what good are they?
That's the important part.
It's amazing to me.
It's the willingness to use the Second Amendment.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that people need to defend other people's freedoms, even if they don't feel like that it's affecting them, whatever the new restrictions are, that they have to understand that eventually they're going to come for you. And, if you haven't stood up for other people, then, who's going to help you out?
Exactly. And I don't want to take up too much of your time, but anybody who's ever served, we're always hearing about, they serve, they sacrifice for our freedoms and all that non-stuff. I'm not trying to be dismissive of it, because I'm sure a lot of guys took it seriously. But you guys should be outraged right now. Anybody listening that served, you guys should be furious. Even if you think that this virus, and I think it is an issue, I think it is dangerous. But even that said, you guys should be absolutely furious that they just completely did away with the Constitution, just because people don't feel safe.
Oh, there's a disease. Now we don't have any rights anymore. Somebody died of a flu or whatever. We got to just destroy all freedoms, because if we could just save one person by locking everyone in their apartments and houses, I mean, it's just a ridiculous viewpoint.
And why stop it? Why not make this a permanent thing? Why not shut downs all the time?
They'll try.
We don't need bars. Right. Well, they will. And we don't need bars. We don't need, how about you only travel when absolutely necessary?
But see, the thing is, we do need human interaction. We do need to have contact with humans, and being on a phone isn't going to cut it. And being disconnected. And this is the topic I wanted to get to tonight, was suicide, but we're wall-to-wall phone calls, so maybe we'll get to it. Maybe we won't. Chris, thanks for calling, and thanks for... Yep, go ahead, quick.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was gonna point to that. I do think that suicides, isolation, depression, despair, and loneliness are going to start setting in for a lot of people, and you're going to see suicide spike. But hey, as long as they didn't die of the coronavirus,
financial is going to be a factor too. You're losing your business.
As long as they didn't die of the coronavirus, who cares, right?
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate. Yeah, great points. Really appreciate hearing from you. Good call. The toll-free number tonight, 855-450 free. Right. There's going to be different reasons for the suicides. Social isolation is going to be one reason. The fact that you're losing your livelihood and everything that you're used to, and all of the change, the loss of your job if you're a business owner, the loss of your investment, if you are a financial trader or whatever, the failure of your stocks or whatever. There's going to be all kinds of different reasons why people are going to decide they would rather just go ahead and end it all. The toll-free number is 855-450 free like freedom, and we're already seeing dramatic increases to suicide hotlines in the United States at this early point.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home, and you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home, as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. 800-667-9035. That's 800-667-9035.
Tahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus doesn't grow on. So it naturally has antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-infection, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. But maybe more importantly, Tahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea builds corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer happens to die in oxygen. The tea is great for healthy people, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. Tahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea is only $34.95 plus shipping. Order now at shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. That's shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. Shopsupertea.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want here. Phones are loaded up. People got a lot to say. And we're going to make sure that you have a chance to say it here. We got plenty of time to go, and your calls and thoughts are welcome. It's Ian with you.
And Richie Rich.
Also, want to say thanks to Vince, who's a Free Talk Live Gold amplifier, meaning Vince contributes twice what we ask for. We ask for $5 a month. He's doing 10. And thank you, Vince, for that. I really appreciate it. It's great to have people supporting what we do here, which is talking about the ideas of freedom 7 nights a week on the radio on over 200 radio stations. So thank you, Vince. And if you want to join the AMP program like Vince has done, you can go to amp.freetalklive.com. It's ampamp.freetalklive.com and go back to your phone calls and your thoughts. We go to JT in Pennsylvania. JT, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, hi. I was the one who called about this
suspension of habeas corpus. There are now attorneys putting out full-page ads in newspapers talking about how they're going to try to fight back against that. But anyways, I wanted to know about if you heard anything about where Sarah is. Sarah from New Mexico.
From New Mexico.
Sarah.
She hasn't called the show since June of last year, actually, so we don't know. Maybe she got hit by a car.
Well, you know what? She was right about all that, but you can look that up on your own. What I wanted to talk about, and please just give me 1 second, was the suspension of habeas corpus during the Civil War and why the Civil War happened. It was a rebel group who invaded Fort Sumter. They flattened that to the ground, and then they cut off all the ports in the South. And so the reason why Lincoln was assassinated was the suspension of habeas corpus. And what you're having
he was
now,
also a tyrant, and that's one example of how he was a tyrant was suspension of habeas corpus. He also attacked.
He should have been impeached.
He attacked the press as well, amongst other things.
Yeah, well, but he was assassinated. I mean, that's extreme. But
and you know what? We're not any more free because of it. So violence didn't make anything better in that circumstance.
I'm not even mad about it. And one more thing. I'm not mad about it either. One more thing is that they used to look at it 100 years ago without any preclusion towards slavery whatsoever. What they looked at is the decimation of the gene pool. The many thousands of people who died, and then as a result of that, now you're looking at unfair juries, idiots in schools, etc.
Hold on, are you saying? Let me see if I'm understanding what you're saying. Are you saying that the Civil War made the American population dumber because so many people were exterminated?
Absolutely. I am saying that. And 100
I would
years
say it
ago,
had
they
more to
looked
do
at
with
it
the government
exactly
getting
the same
into.
way.
I would say it has more to do with the government getting into education, which happened at around the same time, if I recall.
It did.
Because they have an interest in making it so people are not questioning towards things. And thank you, JT. I appreciate hearing from you. They have the what is it called? The Prussian system.
Training for obedient adults.
Training people to become not just obedient, but also subservient in that they don't question their circumstances, that they just want to, get a job and get a paycheck and have some kids and, retire, and then the next generation does it all over again.
And consume all in between.
And pay taxes, of course, the whole time. Dutifully pay taxes. So that way these tax feeders, people like these governors and presidents and representatives and bureaucrats, can essentially live off of your productivity, and they themselves don't have to do anything besides make themselves look important by doing things like pass executive orders during times of so-called crisis, manufacturing crises, labeling things that really aren't that serious as a crisis as in order to aggregate more power to themselves, like we're seeing happen right now. We continue here with your calls and thoughts. Russ is listening in South Carolina. He's in Charleston listening to WTMA. Go ahead, Russ.
Good evening, sir.
Hi there. You're on the air.
The CDC is not a government organization. It's private, and they have 26 executives that make over $200,000 a year, and they were caught flat-footed with these masks. They weren't prepared.
You're saying the CDC is private?
Yes.
I don't think that's true.
Well, even if it is, how are they responsible for mask production?
Well, we were supposed to be, they're in charge of the health of the nation and guidelines.
Their website is cdc.gov. They don't give .gov websites out to private organizations.
Well, let's see. I Googled that the other day, and that's the information I got.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm sorry.
wrong.
You might have seen like a conspiracy theory or something. But anyway, what's the point you're trying to make?
Here's my point. The Americans cleaned out the stores of masks in the first week of this epidemic.
Yep.
They have them at their house.
The smart ones did.
We were fed a big lie. And a stigma was put on us not to wear the mask. We were lied to because they were caught short-handed and didn't have masks for our medical
Wait a
personnel.
minute. Are you saying the government told lies?
Yes.
This must be the first time in history that's ever happened.
Shocking. I'm shocked, I say. Wait a minute. Hold on. Are you saying that the government told lies when it has to do with public health?
No one will go out with a mask. They don't want to be the first one in Charleston, South Carolina to do it.
Well, then you guys got to get your stuff together in Charleston, South Carolina, because Asian people go out with masks all the time, even when there's not a virus going around.
They sure do. Now, I'll ask you a question personally.
Yes,
if the mask was 20% effective, would you wear one?
I'm not afraid, honestly. I'm not going around wearing a mask.
I used to wear a mask while driving, but that was just to piss off the cops.
Well, if Dr. Fauci tonight was right that we're going to have millions of cases and 200,000 deaths, shouldn't we be wearing a mask?
If you want to. If you want to make the personal choice to put on a mask and wear it out, why would you make that decision based on, the peer review of other citizens in Charleston, South Carolina? Right? Why would you risk your own life and health because you fear what they might think of you if you were the first one to be seen wearing a mask?
No, I'm making it based on other countries that instructed all of their citizens to wear masks.
Fine, then wear the mask. If you can get a hold of a mask, wear it, right? Take precautions in your own life.
My bottom line point was that they lied to us. They put a stigma on us not to wear the mask. We would have a stigma.
Fine, who cares?
They lied.
Live with the stigma, wear the mask.
Well, I don't think that just because they're lying means other countries' governments are telling the truth necessarily. I mean, I tend to disbelieve anything that governments say. And, maybe this is the one time they're being honest, but I doubt it. I just don't believe anything they say. So, whoever they are, whether it's the U.S. government or the Chinese government or whoever.
Whether or not the mask is effective, right? If you feel like you're doing yourself a service to your health by wearing it, just wear it. Ignore the stigma. Ignore the crowd reaction, right? Take your health seriously and put the mask on.
Right. Thanks, Russ, for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Let's go to Gene. He's the Christian anarchist. He's on our Discord server. Go ahead, Gene.
Hey, guys. I want to update you on what's going on at the medical front regarding this coronavirus and also make a little quick prediction about what it's going to look like a year from now.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Looking at the website, and I've been, kept checking this website every day ever since this thing first started, going gangbusters in China, and the numbers there are not accurate. And I'm saying, because I can only go by our area right here, because I know what the cases are in our area, and the numbers that they're reporting are lower than the actual numbers. And give you an example, we had our first coronavirus death, and we knew about this 4 days before the website had it posted. So the data is probably, I'm going to guess, 4 days old just by that one particular instance. So I know that the numbers aren't accurate, and I think a lot of that has to do with bureaucracy. Some of it may have to do with, just taking that long to publish data. I'm not sure. But it is a serious illness, and I mean, we wear masks when we go out, but I don't like the government telling people to do things. If you look at three countries, Germany, South Korea, Taiwan, the way they handled it, and they had very, very good success. They didn't just mass quarantine people and tell them they can't go to work and shut down businesses and things of that nature. They did it a totally different way, and their way was much more successful.
And what did they do differently?
One of the things they did differently was they did a lot of testing, for one thing, and they screened people. If they found somebody that had a positive test, they would go find their contacts and they would test them, and they would treat the people that needed to be treated.
All right, Gene, thanks for the call tonight. Appreciate the update. There's more coming up here in moments. He's got a prediction. All right, stand by. It's Free Talk Live.
So now I've got this pack of 4 Shar-Pei rescue dogs. Jimmy, Coco, another Shar-Pei, one pug who is Joe. I have stuck with the Dinovite for, oh my goodness, probably 5-6 years.
DINOVITE.com.
People remark on really how well my dogs look, what beautiful coats they've got. I tell them, yep, they get a regular diet of Dynavite with every meal.
Dynavite is nutrition.
All I have to do is say dog food. It's a pandemonium. They can be half asleep, and they're up and thrilled.
She just looks that whole squeaky clean.
You don't need to wait until a problem presents itself. It's far better to keep the dog happy and healthy at all times.
Dynavite for life.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
People do ask how they get Dynavite. I tell them I get my Dynavite from DINOVITE.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,643, silver at $14.61, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,203. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Doctors for Assange, a group of 195 medical professionals from 30 countries, released a statement Friday, strongly condemning a British court decision to keep WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange incarcerated, despite a possible outbreak of COVID-19 at Belmarsh Prison in London, where Assange is being held. The group argued that due to his history of medical neglect, extremely fragile health, and his chronic lung condition, Assange was at particular risk of both contracting and dying from the virus. Minpress News reports that despite acknowledging he was at increased risk, the district judge denied him bail because she considered him a flight risk. The Australian publisher's hearing played out in a bizarre circumstance on Wednesday. The court, like the rest of the United Kingdom, was on lockdown, meaning only 15 people were in attendance. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. The coronavirus pandemic has caused worldwide panic, with many countries struggling to come up with an appropriate aid package or a coronavirus relief bill as the number of COVID-19 cases spikes. Not sitting on the sideline, crypto companies are doing their part to help. Activist Post reports blockchain-powered donation platform Binance Charity initiated a $5 million coronavirus relief campaign on Wednesday. As of press time, its Crypto Against COVID campaign had received 24 donations, amounting to a total of 160.6306 Bitcoin, its website details. A wallet has been set up for public donations, which can be made in BNB, BTC, BUSD, and XRP. Binance explained that it will make an upfront donation of $1 million in BUSD, which will be converted to fiat and used to purchase supplies to send to hospitals in affected countries. Binance is also matching donations of up to $1 million. As healthcare workers continue to cope with a tsunami of patients infected with COVID-19, they've been forced to cope with critical shortages of N95 face masks that block the virus. The Mind Unleashed reports that some facilities like New York Presbyterian Hospital are burning through no less than 40,000 N95 masks per day. But now, researchers at Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, say they've discovered a method to decontaminate the masks and reuse them, extending a crucial lifeline to frontline medical staff coping with surging cases of the virus. Scientists are using specialized equipment to vaporize hydrogen peroxide, permeating the layers of the N95 mask with a cleansing aerosol that can kill germs, including viruses, without degrading the materials used in the precious masks. The decontamination technology and method has long been in use by Duke Health's biocontainment lab, but applying it to the typically disposable N95 masks had not been considered until the present crisis. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
At Greyhound, we're committed to providing our customers with an exceptional travel experience, and that's why we've outfitted our 2014 line of motor coaches with new deluxe roadway seating that's moderately less disgusting than our traditional fare tickets. For a flat surcharge of $35, customers can upgrade to our exclusive deluxe seating area, where select seats have been refurbished with premium upholstery, boasting significantly less crumbs and Wendy's bags stuffed between the seats, guaranteed to leave you somewhat less repulsed than you are normally. Relax in the comfort that when your feet stick to the floor, they'll be sticking to up to 65% less indeterminate dried fluids. Passengers who upgrade to our elite seating experience will have the option of personalizing the garbage surrounding their seat with a pre-ride selection process, as well as a priority boarding feature where they'll be able to settle into their high-end motor coach accommodations without having to navigate through a crowd of inebriates, ex-convicts, and the morbidly obese. And from all of us at Greyhound, happy travels.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. We're launching into the third hour of the program. As always, you're invited to join us on this live Sunday edition. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Tonight, it's Ian and Richie as normal. We're being joined by a special guest. Mel, welcome to Free Talk Live. You got to get real close to that.
Hi, thank you.
Now, you are not our normal Melanie, who we normally have.
Totally different person
on Sunday nights. Yeah, just to throw all of our listeners.
Just one letter.
Just different. To confuse you even more. This is Mel D is your full name, but we're calling you Mel on the air. So we've been talking about coronavirus responses and what people think, and the phone lines, of course, are open as they always are. We haven't even really scratched the surface of the suicide topic yet, but that is something I do want to get into. We actually left the last hour with Gene the Christian Anarchist on the line. He's been kind of talking about, his perspective as somebody who actually works in a doctor's office as the manager of the office. And you said, Gene, you had a prediction you wanted to make. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're talking about how many people are going to die, and I don't support any of the government restrictions on liberty, of course, but I think this is a serious disease, and there are going to be a lot of deaths, probably somewhere close to what the flu deaths are in a year, which is quite a few. But I think by the time a year has gone by, we're going to see that treatment options have been refined to where it's not going to be much worse than getting the flu. Right now, we've got all kinds of things that are being tried for treatment, and there are some very promising looking treatments. There are breakthroughs coming from, like, South Korea. They have a test that can tell you in 30 seconds to 45 seconds whether you have this coronavirus. So there are things that are happening.
Wow, 30 to 45 seconds? Because somebody was just telling us today that they, people they knew had gotten tested, and it's been weeks, like 2 weeks, and they haven't gotten a response.
Well, our test results right now that we send out to a lab come back in 24 hours. So we got a pretty good setup.
Wow.
In our situation. But the one that's that tells you in 30 to 45 seconds, it's of course electronic. It uses some kind of sensors that go alongside your chest cavity and a computer, and it basically checks to see if you've got inflammation in your lungs. So it would also check other things that cause lung inflammation, but that's one of the key things that kill you with this disease.
Is there any concern, Gene, about the current testing giving off false positives at all? Like propping up the amount of cases they're saying are coronavirus related?
I don't know exactly, because we've only had one positive in our office. So I know that, and she is being treated right now and she's doing fine. But what I'm getting at is, in a year's time, I think that coronavirus is going to be basically on the same ground as the flu. People are going to be getting sick from it. We're going to learn to live with it, because you're not going to get rid of this. This is not going to go away. People are going to get sick with it. It's probably going to be a recurring thing every winter. Just
So does
like
that
the
mean
flu
that
is.
every winter people are going to have to shut down all their
Lockdown.
businesses? We're going to go into a 3-month-long lockdown?
It's like summer
God, I
break,
hope
but for the whole world.
I sure hope we're not that stupid to go for that trick. I mean, all of our rights are being violated right now, and they're using this disease as an excuse to take all of our rights away, and people are just accepting it, and it's just
Asking
makes me
for
sick.
more, more than accepting it.
Yeah, there are people that are out there enforcing it, on other people, and I'm going, come on, people, if you're concerned about it, put on a mask, wear some protective equipment, and go
Stay
about
home.
your business.
Or stay home and have people deliver things to you. Leave it outside your front door. You don't have to talk to them.
You can be a recluse for a very long time.
Right, if that's what you want.
And when they're testing for the coronavirus, I read something that was saying that coronavirus is not, it's kind of like a family rather than, or something like that. It's not just one single virus. It's not the coronavirus.
COVID-19 is like the specific strain
one that we're talking about now.
Yeah.
So, and does this test for coronavirus in general, or is it
or the specific
it's specifically for COVID-19?
Well, I don't know which test. If you're talking about the 30-second one, that tests for lung inflammation, which could also be caused by other things. Basically, that's checking to see if you're starting to get pneumonia. And that's what kills you with the coronavirus is the pneumonia. You basically drown in the liquids that build up in your lungs. So that's not a good situation. You don't want that to happen.
And does your office talk about using vitamin C at all?
Yes, we use vitamin C. We have a lot of things that, well, my wife is the doctor, so she would be the one to ask exactly all of the treatments that we use, but we are always open to things that work. And this is where the FDA gets in the way. They stop people from using treatments that other countries are using and having very good results with.
Yeah.
And
what's an example of that with coronavirus?
Well, there's a drug in Russia, and I forget the name of it, but we tried to actually order some online. And because we're from the USA, of course, it was blocked. But it's a very good drug that works. They've had very good results. If you look at what the South Koreans are using, they've got a series of 5 drugs, I believe, that they use in conjunction with each other. And most of those are approved here, and we can use those. They're like a steroid and an antibiotic and a couple other things. And they're generics. They're generics, which makes them cheap. Now, the drug companies don't like it.
Right.
When you have a cheap cure for a serious disease, they want you to use some new drug that they make up that costs $500 a month. That's what they want you to use.
And aren't they pushing a vaccine through really quickly? It's like a new type of vaccine, and it's also being fast-tracked.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, sure does.
Well, I suspect that they'll have something similar to the flu shot. in a year's time that people will be able to opt in.
And they'll line up for it, too.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what percentage of Americans get the flu shot as is. I suspect it's fairly large because it's fairly well promoted generally year
Come
after
get your
year.
free flu shots.
But this is going to top it, right? Because of all the fear.
I'll tell you what happened with the flu shot this last flu season, because they actually, because every year they generate a new combination, a new mixture of things depending on what strains they think are going to happen. This year, for the first time ever, they actually had a result that was negative. So in other words, more people got the flu that got the flu shot than didn't get the flu shot. So this is the first time in history that they were so far off with their mixture that the flu shot was totally useless. It did
not
nobody
even
any
useless,
good.
Detrimental, apparently.
Yeah. It seemed that way anyway,
Gene,
according to statistics.
Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, and it will be interesting to see what they do when this new vaccine comes out, because already, they're trying...
Mandated.
That's my concern, yeah. And we know that they're already using the kind of the control structure that they have to strongly encourage people to get vaccines, like not letting kids go to school, for instance.
Or play sports. You can't play community sports even.
You have to put your vaccination report next to your driver's license, because when you get pulled over, they want to know if you've had all your shots or not.
Now, that's not happening yet. You're saying that that could happen?
I think Bill Gates is calling for it, and if you want to...
Yeah, there's some scary stuff.
He's calling for the letter that you've been treated or you've passed the test that you don't have it.
I got Tim on the line here in Virginia. You're listening to WNIS. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, hey, this thing's just going along too smooth as far as I'm concerned. Both sides are quick to pass this budget, even though it took a week or so longer. And they're asking for more. Right, they're asking for more. But they didn't do it.
Wait, it's not enough? 2.2. Are you saying 2.2 trillion isn't enough? They need more?
No, they need more.
Of course they do.
Well, you got so many Americans out of work that we all need our checks now.
But they're only even getting 12 grand or 1,200.
Hold on, Tim. I want to make sure you get a chance to get your thoughts out. Hang on. I want to give you the short shrift here. More in a moment. If you can stick with us, Tim, we'll bring it back. 855-450-FREE. And, of course, we knew it was just going to be the beginning. The $2.2 trillion is just the start. And, of course, it wasn't actually the start. They'd already done some so-called quantitative easing prior to that. It's going to be unlimited money printing from the Federal Reserve, and that's not going to be doing good things for your savings if you have any. More coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward Liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the Liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McAlvany ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
So now I've got this pack of 4 Shar-Pei rescue dogs for, oh my goodness, probably 5-6 years. They get a regular diet of Dinovite with every meal.
DINOVITE.com.
People remark on what beautiful coats they've got. I tell them, you don't need to wait until a problem presents itself. It's far better to keep the dog happy and healthy at all times.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dinovite from DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
From
from that romantic summer evening in 1924 when Pol Pot was conceived, to the first time someone figured out how to eat a pineapple without ripping their mouth to shreds. This week in history, 1692, 5 citizens were executed after being convicted during the Salem witch trials, all while dozens of witches, warlocks, and sorcerers stood by and watched the wrongly accused take the rap for them, while the perfectly normal humans charged with witchcraft were publicly hung and dragged to their unmarked graves. The numerous Salem citizens that did spend their evenings casting spells and awakening the dead merely lowered their heads as their friends and neighbors were burned at the stake.
Historical records have indicated that as many as 35% of the people in Salem were actually witches and warlocks. In fact, the executioner himself was a well-known necromancer who, after hanging the wrongly accused witches, reanimated their dead bodies and apologized before casting them into the eternal fires of hell.
This is the Onion News Network.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, the live Sunday edition of the show. You dial toll free to join us here. Our number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Also, we still should talk about the suicide topic. Hopefully,
are you going to be able to get to
we'll
it?
Get that chance coming up here in a little bit. That's the really tough part about doing this is there's so much to talk about, but we're an open phone show, so we'd rather talk to you, and that's what we like to do. So that's what we're going to do here. By the way, with you tonight, it's me, Ian, and also
Mel
and Richie Rich.
We're going to continue. We got Tim still on the line in Virginia, listening to WNIS. Tim, wanted to make sure you had a chance to get your thoughts out. Go ahead. What were you calling about tonight?
Yes, sir. Originally, I called for suicide, and if I could, I would like to get to that.
Yeah.
But first, I get my news from a variety of sources, so I can try to get the truth. Last night, I was listening to Water's World, and Vice President Pence was on there. And if you look at the tape, he actually used the word Marshall, and then he goes, and then changed it. I was like,
what was the context? Hold on. What was the context in which that he used that word?
Waters asked him, what are they doing now and what do they plan on doing in the future?
So you think he's predicting martial law in the future, but didn't want to use that word because of the negative connotation?
He actually did use the word martial.
But he said he walked back on it.
He actually said, and then went to a different topic.
Right.
Interesting.
And me being retired military, I caught that right off the bat. I was like, what are you saying that for?
Well,
but then you go with the go ahead.
Very revealing.
Well, I was going to say, it doesn't seem out of the ordinary at this point, right? They've already got the lockdown in place. The cops are already enforcing it. Some places are already calling for the National Guard.
Yeah.
Right?
Some places already have the National Guard.
They've
got them in Rhode Island now searching for New Yorkers.
Yeah. Sounds like martial law already.
Can declare martial law in their own state.
Why are they searching for
New Yorkers? Every governor can call martial law.
So the reason they're searching for New Yorkers is because New York City people, for instance, are in a sort of hot zone, right? And a lot of them are trying to leave New York City and go to Rhode Island or Connecticut, for instance.
Correct.
And so they're literally sending the National Guard house to house, apparently, in Rhode Island, looking for New York license plates.
Stopping people with New York plates.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
And another thing, you notice on the House, when they voted, they weren't allowed to do a floor vote because then you would know who voted yes and no.
That's
now,
right.
You cannot say who voted yes or no.
Almost no one voted no. There was apparently like a smattering of no's. The supermajority voted yes. But
that you heard verbally.
Right.
But no one can say, yeah, I voted for it, unless it's good. But if it's bad, they can say, nope, I voted against it.
Yep. So there's
But
no
getting to the
record. There's no
suicide-
record of who voted how on this $2.2
You're
trillion
absolutely
bill.
correct.
Apparently, there's one
Absolutely
guy named Thomas Massey who did try to get the roll call vote, but no one backed him on it. So no one
Sure
else said that. Of
course,
they
They
said
came
it
to
was
a bunch of them came to the floor to satisfy that part.
But
then they did a voice vote without a camera.
But if like 20 or
So you
30 or 40 of them come out later and say, no, I voted no, most of them are lying.
Correct. But as far as the suicide, remember I said that check is only a one-time thing.
Right.
For
And it's
now.
only if you qualify for it.
For now.
Only if you qualify for it. Right, you're right.
With all
Now,
the stimulus
that money
packages and
runs out.
quantitative easings, you don't think that if people aren't back at work by April,
they'll print
that there
another
won't
check.
that they won't be clamoring for another check?
Yeah.
Now you're going to start getting into the suicide, and what everybody is forgetting about or not thinking about is civil unrest.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. Some of these people, if you owe child support, you're not getting that money. That's right there in the law.
I'm okay
you
with
owe
targeted
tax-
civil unrest, right?
Right.
Just remember who locked you
Right.
down. It's not the local Starbucks.
That's
It's not
exactly,
the local businesses.
You're exactly right.
Go take
You're
it out
exactly
on the
right.
government buildings and the people that are actually in control, putting you in your place.
You hope.
I
You
hope.
hope they
You're
do.
right. That's why I said targeted.
But they almost never do. I mean,
They
when you
almost
look at-
never do.
When you look at people angry at government, they go and smash up the private businesses.
Because they're dumb. You're right.
That's right.
But let's
They-
remind them who the
personal
enemy
property.
is.
They attack personal property. They, I know in Virginia, they're trying to regulate whether you can buy weapons or not.
Well, they were
And it's
trying to
like-
do that before this whole thing started.
And it
Good thing
failed.
most of the
Yeah, and
Virginians
it
are already
failed.
armed.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is true. I just need a couple more rounds. But other than that,
You better go shopping
Yeah.
because I hear they're selling out of ammo. Hey, Tim, thanks for calling tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. I want to make sure we get some other folks on here, including John in Canada, watching us on dlive.lrn.fm. Go ahead, John.
yeah, well, yeah. Hello.
Hello. You got to turn down your listening apparatus back there.
All right, I will.
What's on your mind tonight, John?
Well, I think we're all sheep.
You think you're a sheep? That we're sheep?
No, sheep. Because do you know anybody that's infected by this virus?
I do not. How about you guys?
No.
Not personally.
No.
Nobody that I know is infected by this virus. China was the first to submit to this. Iran was the second, and Italy was the third. And I think we're fucking tougher.
Oh, my God. You can't say that on the radio. You must not realize you're actually on a radio show. He sounded a little on the older side.
Internet listeners, man.
But man, I don't know. I guess we got to give all these internet listeners a heads up that you're on the radio.
We also broadcast on DLive.
Yeah.
However, primary means of conveyance.
Right. You can't say that on the radio. I appreciate the passion.
Yes.
I appreciate that he's fired up about what he wanted to say, but unfortunately we don't get to hear it now because of that.
I'm a little overhearing that as an excuse, right? Like, nobody knows anybody who's got it. Well, somebody has it.
Well,
right?
I mean, Gene the Christian
People
Anarchist just called in, and he works in a doctor's
Right.
office. He said they had a patient that that tested
so
positive.
it's not a conspiracy that it's going around, right? What we can discuss is
but
for
is it
those
a pandemic?
that do.
Is it a widespread?
That's
I
a
don't know
better
about that.
that's a better conversation than just saying like, do you know anybody that has it? No, but clearly it's a conspiracy.
Right, and your average person knows what, like a few hundred to several hundred people. They've got that many connections kind of in their personal life. Whether they talk to them regularly or not is another question. And certainly we're more connected now, sort of, because of the internet, right? So like, what your friends from high school are doing. You're more likely to be connected with them now than you might have been 20 years ago or something like that. So you should be more informed now as to whether or not somebody that is in your life or close to your life has something like this, but a lot of people don't.
I don't know who's broadcasting that on social media either. I've got the coronavirus.
I think a lot of
I would
people
bet most people would. Yeah.
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 Because it would get them attention.
All right.
Right? People feel sorry for them or whatever, and they just might want people to know, like, why they're not feeling good or whatever. If you want to comment, you're welcome to join us. 855-450-FREE. Let's go we got Robert in South Carolina listening to WTMA in Charleston. Go ahead, Robert.
Hi, there are three things I just wanted to mention briefly. I think I heard President Trump say that new test developed from Abbott Laboratories takes 5 minutes to get the results. I don't know if you heard him say that.
I
But in
don't
any
listen
case,
to what politicians say, so nope, didn't hear that.
Okay. All right, and the next thing is I wanted to mention that I understand from somebody who knows a bit about these things that vitamin C helps quite a bit.
Somebody said that earlier as well. Okay.
Okay. Well, there's
I
another
said
thing
that
called
early
Go
on,
To
right? I
Cola.
said drink more orange juice.
Well, that would be a good start. Yeah, but Go To Cola might be a better one, though. It's far more
Point number
successful.
3, Robert. Point number 3.
Point number 3. Yes, I have an old friend. I had an old friend in Dresden, Germany. He owned an apothecary there, and he got a program from Russia back in the early '90s and put me on the computer. And the computer shows that I was suffering from stress and overtiredness. And he asked me if I felt those sensations, and I didn't realize that I actually was, and I said no to him, but actually I should have said yes.
I'm not sure what the point is. Hang on, we'll get you back here in just a moment. 855-450, free like freedom. It's Free Talk Live.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live Sunday edition of the program. You can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And you can join us online over at freetalklive.com. Now, the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat currencies like the dollar right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy allows you to, well, they say that you'll be able to. They're still working on it. One of the things you can do, though, is use their one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes. That's available right now, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches, because of their relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at DivvyProject.org. That's DIVIProject.org. As we continue here, you can bring up whatever is on your mind. It's Ian, Mel, and Richie in the studio. We go back to Robert in South Carolina. He had 3 points. He was on his third point, but we ran a little bit short of time there. What were you trying to say there, Robert?
Well, I'm trying to say that, and recently the computer now can also detect if you're suffering from inflammation. And if you are suffering from inflammation, you can use something called Basica. They do that in Germany a lot. And you balance your pH, and by balancing your pH, you reduce your inflammation, and you also reduce the threshold for electrochemical activities throughout your whole body. And by doing that, your body doesn't have to steal enzymes if it's running short of calcium, by the way, by stealing calcium from your bones and causing porosis in your bones.
Robert, are you a doctor?
And I can do that by eating baklava?
Both of my parents were physicians, and I worked at the hospital when I was a youngster, and I also took pre-med, but I switched to other things. I did hematology, blood chemistry, urine analysis, blood banking, blood chemistry.
Well, I would encourage people to check any claims that you hear on the radio. Thank you for the call tonight, Robert. Do your own research. Get out there. There's a big internet out there, and there's a lot of opinions about various different treatments and such. Let's talk to Steve. He's in New York listening to WGVA in the Finger Lakes region. Go ahead, Steve.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Good. You're on the radio. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. I just listened to I was just hearing your previous caller, and it's kind of interesting that there are such crazy people in the world.
There's a lot of crazies in the world. We've heard from a few of them tonight. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
I'm actually in upstate New York.
Yes.
I live, I think, in the only county in New York State that has no confirmed coronavirus cases.
Mm-hmm. What are you guys doing differently?
Well, we're not doing anything. I shouldn't say we're not doing anything differently, but we have always maintained a pretty big personal space. It's one of the things that I said at one of the convenience stores recently was that it was interesting that they put up a barricade to make us stand behind the point where we always have anyway.
Interesting. So you're saying people in the Finger Lakes region are, just more standoffish generally? They don't want to get close to one another?
We are rural.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already spread out.
Andrew Cuomo thinks that New York State is New York City.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
And we're not. You can put New York State in 2 or 3 upstate counties. Or I should say, you can put downstate. The population of downstate is concentrated very, very heavily.
Mm-hmm. You should secede away from New York City.
Yeah, I did hear that there was some level of a secession movement up there. Is there anything going on with that?
What's that?
Is there anything going on with a secession movement there in upstate New York?
Well, I've always been a proponent of seceding from New York State. My girlfriend works for a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They have been cutting back her hours because they don't have any patients.
Wow.
Everybody is staying away from the hospitals
That should be an
not-
opportunity to move to the bigger city and get more hours there, right? Doctors and nurses are
if
migrating.
you don't want to die of coronavirus, yeah. I'm 66 years old.
Uh-huh.
It's I saw a post on the internet where somebody says, if we allow it to spread, the world will come to end.
BS.
The reality of it is if everybody over 65 dies, it's a net positive thing for the United States.
Well, first of all, that's not going to happen.
Then maybe libertarians will win a vote.
Even if it were to spread, dramatically, and even if people were to die, it's not going to be everyone over 65. It's probably not even going to be 1 out of 10 of them.
And no, it's not even that.
Yeah.
It's probably 1 out of 1,000 of us is going to die.
Well, I mean, they've
It's
seen
crazy.
earlier numbers do suggest that older people are more susceptible to it, but then again, the numbers have been manipulated by the governments. For instance,
we're also more susceptible to the seasonal flu, and we don't die at even 1 in 10,000.
Yeah, Steve, good call tonight, man. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us. Appreciate you checking in from the apparently the only corona-free county there in New York. Appreciate that. But yeah, the numbers are heavily manipulated as well. We had a story from RT this week about how the numbers out of Italy are tremendously manipulated. For instance, the people who are dying there, the older folks who are dying, well, they already had morbidity-related kind of conditions. They already had serious heart issues or serious other issues that they were already in the hospital for, already in hospice, dying, essentially. And maybe coronavirus finished them off, or maybe they would have died that week anyway, and then they just chalked it up as a coronavirus thing. So I tend to agree with Steve on this. I think it's way overblown. But let's talk about suicide here, because this is something we've been teasing for the entire show tonight. Here's a story from MiamiHerald.com. Some areas of the country are seeing an increase in suicide-related calls as coronavirus spreads. But it's not because of coronavirus that people are feeling suicidal. It's because of the reaction.
The lockdown.
The lockdown.
Not having work anymore.
Not having work, not being able to
How are you
connect
gonna pay your bills?
with other human beings.
Right.
That's what does it. This is why they consider solitary confinement to be torture in many jurisdictions in the world. They won't allow it, but they do it here in the U.S. Isolation and anxiety over the coronavirus so-called pandemic are taking a toll on Americans. Crisis support lines and suicide prevention services in several states have seen spikes in calls since the COVID-19 virus threw everyday life askew for millions. Remember, it wasn't the virus that did that. It's the response. It's the mandates by the government that did that. And supposedly these mandates are to protect people. But if it ends up being that thousands of people kill themselves within the next few weeks, have you really actually protected people? Have you helped in that particular case?
And if you're suicidal and seriously thinking about going through with it and you're going to end up a statistic anyway, right? Go outside, fight back, resist, protest, do the thing that makes you happy first.
Do suicide by cop instead.
Sure, I'll take that. Right? Make a point.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
First Link, a North Dakota-based company that answers 211 help and support lines for North Dakota and parts of Minnesota, said their call volume in some of its call centers is up 300%, according to a report by Valley News Live in Fargo, North Dakota. Quote, "It's so scary, it's almost like I would rather be dead," said Danielle Sine, a writer in New York City with a history of suicidal thoughts. USA Today reported, quote, "I mean, I wouldn't be, but sometimes I get so scared, it feels like that," she said. President Trump, who has been pressing to lift restrictions on most people as soon as possible, has warned of suicides by the thousands if people remain isolated, according to Forbes. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, quote, "has not experienced significant changes in call volume at this time," according to its spokesperson on Friday. The National Crisis Text Line handled 6,000 text conversations last week, about twice their normal volume, according to their spokesperson. And it's still the early days here, right? We're only a couple weeks into this thing.
And if Trump's concerned about it, right, just lift all the restrictions that he put in place.
Instead, they extended it.
And leave the suggestion, right, that you should self-isolate if you feel the need to.
But didn't somebody call in earlier to say that it went from the 6th to the 30th?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen the news about that. But
I didn't read that headline either.
But two people called and said that tonight. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. It's Free Talk Live.
With more people listening to radio than visit Google, Facebook, or YouTube, from the very young to the very old, everyone listens to radio. Pillow companies, alarm, identity theft, nutrition, insurance, banking, automotive. The list goes on and on. Billion-dollar businesses. Why? The answer is radio. The media everyone tunes into. Find out how effective and affordable radio can be for your business. Contact 877-996-4327 or advertise at gcnlive.com.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have 2 convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our made in the USA microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part? Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Moments remain, maybe enough time for you. If you want to get on the lines right now, our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got the Discord call-in line rooms as well, discord.lrn.fm, where you can go and argue about the coronavirus 24 hours a day. There's people in the Discord who firmly are buying into everything that the media is saying, and there's others who are questioning, some in the middle, and there's other conversations that can be had. There's subforums about cryptocurrency and New Hampshire activism and gold backs. There's all kinds of conversations to be had there at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you in the studio, it's me, Ian.
Mel.
And Richie Rich.
Also join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians June 29th until July 5th for Fork Fest 2020 at Rogers Campground, the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. From what we can tell so far, Rogers Campground has not yet put out any kind of notice about closure surrounding this whole coronavirus fear. So as long as Rogers Campground is going to be open, Forkfest is going to happen because there's no one who can cancel it. It's not a centrally organized event. It's decentralized. It's a libertarian camping festival, and it's the 4th year for Forkfest. So if you want to learn more about it, go to forkfest.party. It's the unofficial website there. That's forkfest.party.
Maybe they'll only rent out every other camp stall.
I don't know, but it's going to be a fun time, and I'm looking forward to it. Free Talk Live will be broadcasting there. We've been talking about the, I would say, not surprising and predictable rise in calls to suicide hotlines. Now, not every suicide hotline is reporting a rise, but a lot of them are seeing a significant increase. One of them in North Dakota seeing 300% more, but then again, it's North Dakota, so if there was only 3 callers and they went to 9, then...
Yeah, that's why that statistic could be a bit misleading.
But then again, in Portland, according to the Miami Herald, suicide-related 911 calls rose 23% in just the past 10 days. That's compared with the 10 days before the city declared the emergency, according to the Oregonian. All 911 calls in the city dropped 10% in the same period, interestingly. So more suicide calls, overall call volume for other crimes and such.
Well, because the criminals were told to stay at home and not go out because of the coronavirus.
The National Crisis Text Line handled about 6,000 text conversations, which is about twice their normal volume in just the last week, according to the Boston Globe. Other suicide prevention efforts in Portland report rising calls from people who feel anxious, depressed, or frightened, but not in calls from those feeling acutely suicidal, according to the publication. Officials fear that may change. Chris Boniff, the executive director of the Oregon chapter of the National Alliance on Mental Illness, said, quote, "If this nears a large disaster like Hurricane Katrina, there is a flood coming." And remember Hurricane Katrina, so many people were put out of their homes, they had their lives affected in a very negative fashion.
That's a natural disaster, though, right? Like, that comes with living on the planet. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, an infection is also a mass infection is a natural disaster, but the government's making it worse.
That's the response part.
Yeah.
Like this reaction, this suicides and all this is because of the government response to a naturally occurring event.
And wait till people start getting foreclosed on because they can't pay their mortgages.
Right. Well, right now, there are orders in place in a lot of states, New Hampshire is one of them, that prohibit landlords or banks or people who would be charging rent or mortgage from collecting, but they're not waiving the payments, right? So the idea is that eventually you still got to pay. If you miss a payment this month and you miss a payment next month, they can't do anything to you legally because of that. However, they are still able to collect that payment, and they should be. It's your obligation to pay it. But that's not going to make things easier on folks. It's just deferring the payments down the road.
But that could help. That's what I suggested last week was for term loans, right? If they're going to defer the payments for 3 months, rather than collect that all at once, up front, like, oh yeah, we're back in business now. You owe 4 months.
No, they'll have to spread it out,
or extend the term of the loan on the back end. Right.
Well, they could do it that way. We'll see how they end up handling it. But
that way you don't end up with the foreclosures. The bank doesn't have to get too involved, right?
And the banks don't want the foreclosures anyway.
I would think not. Yeah, that's why.
But again, that's not going to make it easy on people either way. It's still stressful. It's still frustrating. Not knowing when you're going to go back to work is one thing.
And the stop on the mortgage payments, is that for the extension of this coronavirus lockdown? Or
that's correct.
I heard, I heard like 2 months.
It's until whenever the governors lift their various different orders, presuming that happens when that happens. And we don't know when that's going to be at this point. Officials at the Samaritan's Hotline, the largest suicide prevention hotline in Massachusetts, say they received 350 calls a day last week, which is up from their normal 250 to 275 calls. Text messages are on pace to top 1,000 for March, which would be a record high, according to the Boston Globe. In Portland, most callers report feeling anxious or fearful rather than acutely suicidal. So it's good that they are reaching out and looking to talk to somebody, because they can't actually leave their homes and talk to somebody. So this is their best bet. Many callers, according to Ron White, the chief program officer, 7 County Services based in Louisville, Kentucky, is also experiencing higher than usual call volume. Quote, "We're stretched to the absolute limit as it is," according to Geneva Robinson with 7 County Services, a crisis center. She estimates that the call volume has already increased by 20%. So
it's kind of a little sad that they don't have friends or family to reach out to first, right? Like, everyone's stuck at home.
Maybe they have family, but maybe their family doesn't get along with them, right?
Yeah. Still sad situation.
They don't feel like they can reach out to them.
That you have to reach out to the suicide hotline just to, alleviate some anxiety.
Well, right, which may suggest that there's a lot more than this out there. If people they do have friends or family, they may be confiding in them, or maybe a reason they want to call the hotline is because they don't want to tell their mom they're feeling these things, right? They don't want to have that conversation with a family member because it might freak them out, right? They've already got all kinds of problems. Do you want to lay this one on top of them as well?
I mean, that's what friends and family are for, man. Like, those are the people in your life that you should be able to go to for certain things, especially the big ones.
I don't disagree with you there, but some people may not see it that way. So no one should be surprised by this news. In fact, there was also a story about somebody who jumped from a balcony, I think, in New York City over the last week. There's another story that I've got from the Daily Mail about a girl on Instagram, 19-year-old teenager who has killed herself. The family said she was unable to cope with her world closing in and being stuck inside. So she took her own life. And she was apparently concerned about coronavirus and the mental health aspects of isolation.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are two examples. Who knows how many more we're going to see? And I have to wonder, all these people that want to lock people in their homes to supposedly keep them safe, how many suicides do you want to have on your hands? How many of them, are you going to look back and say, maybe that was a mistake. Maybe we should have let people go ahead and make their own choices.
They won't take the responsibility for that.
No, of course not. Let's talk to David. He's in New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, David.
Hi, a couple observations. Obviously, our government is totally stupid, but if you look at Sweden, they have not imposed the draconian measures, and so it'll be an interesting thing to watch if they continue to not impose as many restrictions as for the rest of the world, to see what their outcome is. And I'm going to speculate that their outcome won't be any worse than ours, and possibly could be slightly better.
Keep an eye on Belarus, too, because they weren't doing anything.
Yeah. Right, yeah, same thing. But our government is screwing up. This is the way I see it, is this thing is dangerous to the compromised populations, older and ill, and not so much to the younger. And by putting everybody indoors, it prolongs, in my opinion, the time course for this to run its course. Whereas if Sweden is correct, it'll run its course more quickly, and they won't have the lingering effects of it. Also, this testing thing is completely stupid. The testing is basically worthless. Having a quicker test does help, but still, if people get tested, not everybody's going to get tested, and it's going to foster a false sense of security. And even if you go have a program to test everybody, there's still going to be people floating around out there who don't know that they're positive. So you still have to assume that everybody could potentially be carrying it. So the only strategy that makes any sense is to let most people do whatever they think is best, but protect as best you can the elderly and the infirm that are more susceptible to getting that. That's the strategy that makes sense. What we're doing now does not.
Real quick to your point about the prolonging it, that was planned because that's how you flatten the curve, as the news puts it. Right. People get impacted for a longer period of time, so that the hospitals and those organizations can cope with the amount of people getting admitted.
The young lady, 19-year-old, who killed herself, predicted before she suicided She said, quote, "More people will die from suicide during this than the virus itself."
True.
Richie Rich, people can listen to more of you on your show.
AnarchistExperience.com.
Go check him out over there, and we'll see you tomorrow night online in the meantime. freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,643, silver at $14.61, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,203. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Doctors for Assange, a group of 195 medical professionals from 30 countries, released a statement Friday, strongly condemning a British court decision to keep WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange incarcerated, despite a possible outbreak of COVID-19 at Belmarsh Prison in London, where Assange is being held. The group argued that due to his history of medical neglect, extremely fragile health, and his chronic lung condition, Assange was at particular risk of both contracting and dying from the virus. MinPress News reports that despite acknowledging he was at increased risk, the district judge denied him bail because she considered him a flight risk. The Australian publisher's hearing played out in a bizarre circumstance on Wednesday. The court, like the rest of the United Kingdom, was on lockdown, meaning only 15 people were in attendance. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. The coronavirus pandemic has caused worldwide panic, with many countries struggling to come up with an appropriate aid package or a coronavirus relief bill as the number of COVID-19 cases spikes. Not sitting on the sideline, crypto companies are doing their part to help. Activist Post reports blockchain-powered donation platform Binance Charity initiated a $5 million coronavirus relief campaign on Wednesday. As of press time, its Crypto Against COVID campaign had received 24 donations, amounting to a total of 160.6306 Bitcoin, its website details. A wallet has been set up for public donations, which can be made in BNB, BTC, BUSD, and XRP. Binance explained that it will make an upfront donation of $1 million in BUSD, which will be converted to fiat and used to purchase supplies to send to hospitals in affected countries. Binance is also matching donations of up to $1 million. As healthcare workers continue to cope with a tsunami of patients infected with COVID-19, they've been forced to cope with critical shortages of N95 face masks that block the virus. The Mind Unleashed reports that some facilities like New York Presbyterian Hospital are burning through no less than 40,000 N95 masks per day. But now, researchers at Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, say they've discovered a method to decontaminate the masks and reuse them, extending a crucial lifeline to frontline medical staff coping with surging cases of the virus. Scientists are using specialized equipment to vaporize hydrogen peroxide, permeating the layers of the N95 mask with a cleansing aerosol that can kill germs, including viruses, without degrading the materials used in the precious masks. The decontamination technology and method has long been in use by Duke Health's Biocontainment Lab, but applying it to the typically disposable N95 masks had not been considered until the present crisis. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you